Some movie endings make us laugh, some make us cry, but then there are those that shake the very foundation of cinema itself. From shocking twists to unforgettable final scenes, these endings didn't just roll the credits, they redefined storytelling. Forever! Stick around because number one will leave you speechless. The Sixth Sense, 1999. One of the greatest plot twists in movie history, revealing that Bruce Willis's character was dead all along. This ending redefined psychological thrillers and inspired countless twist-heavy films. This twist was a game changer. Unlike traditional horror or supernatural thrillers, the film played with perception and misdirection, leading viewers to believe one version of reality until the climactic reveal forced them to rethink everything. It was so impactful that people went back to rewatch it, looking for clues they missed. Psychological horror boom. Instead of relying on gore or jump scares, The Sixth Sense emphasized deep emotional storytelling and atmosphere, inspiring modern psychological thrillers, career-defining performances. Haley Joel Osment's haunting yet heartbreaking performance earned him an Oscar nomination at just 11 years old. Planet of the Apes, 1968. The moment Charlton Heston discovers the ruins of the Statue of Liberty is pure cinematic gold. It was a groundbreaking way to reveal the film's true setting and left audiences in stunned silence. Then comes the earth-shattering twist. As Taylor travels along the coastline, he comes across the half-buried ruins of the Statue of Liberty, a clear indication that the alien planet is actually Earth long after an apocalyptic disaster. Overcome with despair, he collapses to his knees, screaming, "You maniacs! You blew it up! Damn you! Damn you all to hell!" The revelation that humanity was responsible for its own downfall was both shocking and thought-provoking as social commentary. Unlike many sci-fi films before it, Planet of the Apes used the genre to critique racism, social hierarchies, and political oppression, paving the way for more thought-provoking sci-fi storytelling. Inception 2010. Christopher Nolan's ambiguous ending with the spinning top had audiences debating for years. Was it all a dream? The genius of this ending is that we may never know. Tasked with the near impossible mission of Inception, planting an idea into someone's mind, Cobb and his team navigate through multiple dream layers. Then the last, in the final scene, after successfully completing the mission, Cobb returns home to his children, something he had long been unable to do. The film cuts to black before the top's fate is revealed, leaving the audience questioning whether Cobb ever truly woke up. Unlike traditional Hollywood endings that provide clear closure, Inception left the audience with questions instead of answers. Fight Club, 1999. The mind-blowing twist that Tyler Durden was just a figment of the narrator's imagination made this film an instant cult classic. And that final shot of the buildings collapsing to the Pixies' "Where Is My Mind?" Perfection. The final moments of the film are pure cinematic brilliance. After the narrator kills Tyler in his mind, he stands hand in hand with Marla Singer as they watch skyscrapers collapse in a carefully orchestrated financial system reset. Fight Club tapped into deep existential angst, questioning capitalism, masculinity, and self-identity in a way few films had before. Although Fight Club initially underperformed at the box office, it became a massive cult hit through DVD sales and word of mouth. The Usual Suspects, 1995, the moment Verbal Kint walks out and the detective realizes he's been fooled. Pure cinematic magic. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist. Throughout the interrogation, Verbal recounts the story of how he and 4 other criminals were recruited into a scheme that ultimately led to the boat explosion. As Verbal tells his story, the audience is drawn deeper into the web of deception. The twist forces viewers to rethink everything they just saw, making the film even better on a second watch. The film proved that crime movies could be more than just action-packed. They could be intellectual puzzles that demand audience participation. The Godfather, 1972. Michael Corleone's chilling transformation into the ruthless Don as the door closes on his wife is one of the most powerful and haunting endings ever filmed. In the film's final, unforgettable scene, Michael orchestrates the brutal murder of all his enemies in a brilliantly edited baptism sequence, where he renounces Satan in a church while his men eliminate the Corleone family's rivals. Moments later, Michael sits in his father's former office as his wife, Kay, Diane Keaton. Michael Corleone's journey from idealistic war hero to cold-blooded mafia boss is considered one of the greatest character transformations in film history. Say Severin, 1995. What's in the box? This brutal, devastating ending left audiences emotionally wrecked. The final act cemented C7N as one of the darkest crime thrillers of all time. After a tense game of cat and mouse, the serial killer, John Doe, Kevin Spacey, unexpectedly turns himself in. But there's a catch. He offers to lead them to the final two bodies, completing his twisted masterpiece. Instead of a typical good versus evil resolution, Saint-Germain delivered a hopeless, nihilistic ending, proving that not all stories have happy conclusions. C.S.N. I blurred the line between psychological thriller and horror, inspiring later films like Saw, Zodiac, and The Silence of the Lambs. Casablanca, 1942. Here's looking at you, kid. A bittersweet farewell that became one of the most quoted moments in film history. Throughout the film, tension builds as Rick struggles with his lingering love for Ilsa and the moral dilemma of whether to help her and Victor escape Casablanca. The iconic final scene at an airfield shrouded in fog. Rick chooses duty over love, telling Ilsa she must leave with Victor for the greater good. Unlike typical Hollywood romances of the time, Casablanca didn't give audiences a happy ending. It gave them something deeper, a story about sacrifice, honor, and lost love. The film's ending produced some of the most quoted lines in movie history, setting a gold standard for film dialogue. Psycho, 1960. The film follows Marion Crane, Janet Leigh, a woman on the run after stealing money, who checks into the isolated Bates Motel, run by the seemingly shy and awkward Norman Bates, Anthony Perkins. After the infamous shower scene, the film shifts focus to a mystery surrounding Marion's disappearance. The final shot of Norman Bates staring into the camera with his mother's voice in his head is still haunting to this day. Hitchcock's masterpiece changed horror forever. Before Psycho, horror movies often focused on monsters or supernatural entities. Hitchcock proved that human monsters could be even more terrifying. The film blurred the lines between horror and psychology, making Norman Bates one of the most complex villains in movie history. The Empire Strikes Back, 1980. No, I am your father. The ultimate twist. The revelation that Darth Vader is Luke's father reshaped not just Star Wars, but blockbuster storytelling as we know it. Luke, inexperienced and outmatched, fights bravely but is defeated and disarmed, literally losing his right hand in the battle. The film ends on a dark, unresolved note. Han Solo is frozen in carbonite, the rebellion is on the run, and Luke is left grappling with his shattered identity. The revelation that the villain is actually the hero's father became one of the greatest twists in movie history, redefining how stories could shock and engage audiences. Until Star Wars, sci-fi films were often campy adventures, Empire turned it into serious myth-making, proving that science fiction could be emotionally resonant and narratively ambitious. These endings didn't just shock us, they shaped the future of cinema. Which one blew your mind the most? Did we miss any legendary finales? These legendary endings didn't just shock us, they shaped the future of cinema. From jaw-dropping twists to haunting final moments, each of these films pushed storytelling to new heights, leaving a permanent mark on Hollywood and audiences alike. Which of these endings left you speechless? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing content. Stay tuned for the latest movie reviews.